What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nia, the video gamer here, and sorry about the glare. It's really sunny at this point of the day here in Texas, but I just wanted to make a quick video because I've been kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of lacking on my video game news and all that type of stuff, but I did read something today, a statement that the president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, said. He said something, it was about third-party support. He said something along the lines of third parties not experiencing brisk sales because of late ports and things of that nature. In general, I don't want to say that President Iwata is a bad president. I think that when it comes down to his morale and how he, tries his best to be fair to not only, the fans of the company and to the employees of the company, he is a good boss. But when it comes down to being tactful and trying to get people on board with the Wii U, I feel like he's a little bit lacking in that regard. And it's funny because, he was very successful during, the Wii's lifespan, getting, Wii's in, many people's houses, because the Wii had a crazy, install base. Hopefully, the Wii U has a pretty decent install base, but the Wii was a centerpiece in many people's homes, and for a while it was pretty much, the big craze, the big thing. But something that everybody knows that the Wii had was the motion controls, and the Wii U gamepad has its very cool innovations, but it's not nearly gonna be, I think, in my opinion, as impactful as the Wiimote was with the Wii. Now, the point that I'm trying to make, I know it's taking me a while to get to my point, but the point that I'm trying to make is, sure, Iwata, he's obviously passionate about Nintendo. He's obviously passionate about, providing good experiences for the Nintendo gamer. But when it comes down to bringing other consumers on board with the Wii U, he seems to not really care as much. And I don't really want to say that because I don't know exactly what goes on in Nintendo headquarters and what exactly goes on in the board meetings. But based on some of the things that I'm seeing from the outside looking in, is that he is not, and I know that I've think that I've heard him or some Nintendo employees say this out of their own mouths. They're not looking to make the Wii U the system to have for your entertainment system, for your living room, for your house. I think that at this point, Nintendo employees have kind of gotten accustomed to this idea that Nintendo consoles are secondary. They're secondary to, whatever other entertainment piece that people want to have, like an Xbox or a PlayStation or, a DVD player, etc., because they're not trying to really make these features, and they're not really trying to bring in major third-party support like they did in years past. And I'm not saying that the Wii U has to be packed full of features, because, like I said in a previous video, like, we really don't need all of that. I think that sometimes that the gaming industry focuses way too much on these things. But as much as Nintendo tried to appeal to the everybody with the Wii, with their Blue Ocean strategy, getting Wiis in people's homes who weren't technically gamers, trying to get people who don't generally play games to play games, I think that they're kind of not really utilizing the power that they have as a company. Nintendo is a big brand, right? A lot of people have kind of fallen off of the Nintendo bandwagon because of the lack of third-party support and some of the other things that you would think that more modern consoles would be doing with the Wii U. But if Nintendo wants to show people who are not Nintendo gamers that they need to come on board with the Wii U, they need to start being a lot more tactful in taking on these third-party developers and stop leaving everything up to developers. They need to start putting money up to these people that may have lost faith in Nintendo years past, who, when Nintendo had that reputation for being the company that nobody wants to deal with because of their, their really strict policies. I don't know exactly what they're doing anymore. It's like, with the Wii, you wanted to get a Wii in everybody's houses. With the Wii U, it's kind of like you're not really caring about this third-party support, and it's kind of like now it seems like the Wii U is just going to be a Nintendo console. Like, it's the place to go if you want Nintendo games, but if you want anything else, then you need to look elsewhere. And I know that a lot of Nintendo fans like myself, we usually end up being multi-console gamers, and regardless of even if Nintendo had as much third-party support as Microsoft and Sony, I would still own multiple consoles because that's just the type of person I am. I'm a gamer, period. Even though my preference is Nintendo, I am a gamer. I'm going to game on everything. But to those people who only can afford one console, I think that, I don't want to say selfish, but it's a little jacked up that Nintendo isn't going to try to create a wide variety of things on their consoles, especially when you have developers for Nintendo saying that they're not really concerned about bringing older Nintendo IPs, like how Miyamoto or whoever said something about not bringing a Star Fox because they don't know what to do with a Star Fox. It's like, okay, well, what else are you going to bring to your box? I mean, of course we're going to have our Donkey Kong, of course we're going to have our Mario, of course we're going to have our Zelda, but if you want to bring a wider install base, you have to cater to a larger audience. I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're not realizing that the people who are buying their products, they are also evolving. You know what I mean? They're evolving with the trends of the current gaming industry. They're evolving with new ideas that are being introduced to games. And as much as I love Nintendo, as much as I love the fact that they're trying to keep it retro, they're trying to keep it at a place where Nintendo will always have that charm, they've got to bring some things to the table. And even if they don't want to try to be too aggressive with third parties, they have got to at least bring their own content that cater to a different audience that's not really into Mario like that, that's not really into Donkey Kong like that, that's not really into Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart. They've got to give people who are not really Nintendo gamers a reason to come to their console, to give them a reason to purchase. You know, like if there was a Star Fox that had some online, or Metroid that had online, F-Zero that had online, and many of the other features that you see games having today, there would be a lot more people who would be willing to give Nintendo a chance. But it seems that Nintendo doesn't really care about these people. They really just care about keeping the nostalgic fans or creating new fans. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to remember the people that have always been there. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been there. I'm always probably going to be a Nintendo fan. But there are people like me who grew up with Nintendo that fell out of love with Nintendo because of their lack of determination to try to bring in more different and diverse types of experiences that we don't normally see on Nintendo consoles. That's not me bashing Nintendo. That's not me hating Nintendo. That's just me trying to be as objective as I can to try to relate to these people who aren't necessarily into Nintendo like that. Nintendo, I love you, but you guys have got to show people that you care about diversity. You have to show that you care about the market outside of Japan, because I know a lot of Western Nintendo fans are feeling jilted. You have to make people feel that you care about the good things about the modern gaming industry that are actually helping gaming. There are a lot of things that I think that are jacked up and are unnecessary in the modern gaming world, but there are also a lot of things that I think that benefit gaming. Like, for example, the big thing right now is online gaming. Nintendo, that is a big innovation that you guys are completely not understanding, that could really add so much to gameplay and helping gamers around the world to become more connected and to connect more with their fellow gamer. That you guys are completely just missing the point. There's nothing wrong with local gameplay. You can do both. You don't have to choose local or online. You can do both. You can still have a game that is centered around local play, that also possesses an online feature, some online settings, so that people around the world can play with each other. I don't understand their mindset, and especially in places that aren't Japan. Everybody can't just travel like that to go and play a game with a friend. You know what I mean? Like, my boyfriend and I, we live 2.5 hours away. You know, we see each other, but we don't see each other enough to play video games with each other all day. And so being able to play video games with him online, you know, some of my favorite titles, that would help build not only the relationship amongst gamers, but the relationship with Nintendo and Nintendo's brands with Nintendo fans and non-Nintendo fans. So I just think that Iwata, man, I really hope that this change with you becoming the CEO of Nintendo of America really shows you how different the Western market is from the Japanese market. I really hope that this change shows you that a lot of Western Nintendo fans, we feel jilted. We feel that we are unnoticed, and we feel that you don't give us nearly enough of what it is that we want or what we need in our gaming experience from your company. That's basically it from this video. I hope it made sense, because y'all know I just freestyle off the dome. I don't have a script or anything like that pre-made for my videos. But that's my honest opinion. Y'all know that, you know, I don't have a problem with giving Nintendo a piece of my mind, whether it's negative or positive. And I hope that you guys like this video for what it is. So, with that being said, I'll talk to you guys at a later date. Peace.